Hey guys, this is Coach Keating and Cam, and today's topic is motivation. We have a very special topic, a very special tip for you called the 5-minute workout. But before we get into that, let's talk about a little bit about what motivates players. And I'd like to open up the questions right away for you guys. What motivates you? What really gets you fired up to train? Because that is what we want to get to. We want to get inside your brain and really help you get fired up and want to train, because it's the habit of training. It's the habit of sticking with your commitment that makes all of the difference. So I will start by telling you a very brief story about what I went after recently and what motivated me. By the time I was 50, my goal was to run a world major marathon in under 3 hours. And that's very difficult for an old guy like me. But a world major is one of the big cities like Chicago, New York, Boston, London, or Berlin. That got me very, very excited. And I put together a plan. And every day I woke up, I was fired up and ready to go. And I never missed training. So we're going to give you some tips. I'm going to listen to Cam as a player and listen to what she does to stay fired up. And then we're going to give you some tips that you can start applying right now, today. Cam, how do you stay fired up? How do you... Because you train a lot, how do you stay with it? How do you stay fired up?
So I think very similar to what you were saying is having an end goal, having something that drives you, a dream. So when I was growing up, it was playing professional soccer, and that's still is my dream, as well as playing at other various levels and preparing for that. But I think on a day-to-day basis, sometimes when I'm feeling tired, it's nice for me to remind myself of how far I've come, given the hours that I put in. So when you remember that it works, putting the hours in, doing the training, when you can see that progress, that is motivation in and of itself.
So guys, if you have any particular things that really motivate you, I want to see some of them. And we have somebody here that's helping us out with the questions and answer off camera. So if you have any particular things that really fire you up, that keep you inspired, keep you training, share them with everybody here. And at the end, I have to remember this, Cam, you have to help me remember this. I have a video that I want to share with you guys on some training tips to create a habit. And I will post it at the end of this, live broadcast. I will post it in the live broadcast chat. So for you guys that have never chatted before, you never asked questions, you've never posted comments before in a live chat like this, you just go to the chat box. And then if you have not created a channel, it's going to ask you to create a channel. And the only reason they do that is they want it to be secure. They want people, they want to be able to know who is posting so that it's polite and secure. Okay, so there are 2 tips that I want to cover today. The first one we've already talked about, kind of have a big dream, a big goal, because something that you're really passionate about, that will fire you up. But there's a 5-second rule that I want to cover with you guys. And there's a 5-minute workout that I want to cover with you guys. The first one is the 5-second rule. And this came directly from a wonderful book that I read recently by Mel Robbins. And it's called the 5-second rule. And anybody who likes to read and gets into the psychology of player development and how we think and how we get motivated, it's a great book to read. The 5-second rule is this: when you have to make a decision on whether you're going to do something or not, something that you really need to do. I have to make a decision of whether I want to study now. I have to make a decision whether I'm going to train now. You don't sit there and debate, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? No, you count backward from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you move forward. You go forward with the decision. I am going to do it. That is a small tip, but it has huge impact because you're not wasting a lot of time debating, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is the 5-minute workout. And I have to tell you, this came from one of our players. This idea came from one of our players. I'm not sure where she got it. I have to ask her. Her name is Allison. And she's our stage 2 player. So Allison is a really dedicated player. So I have to ask her where she got this. But she said that just starting a workout is halfway there. So her comment, and she posted this in one of our training platforms, that just give it 5 minutes and see what happens. So the 5-minute rule, the 5-minute workout, is if you have committed to 30 minutes, you've committed to 45 minutes and committed to 60 minutes, and you just, no matter what, you're just not feeling it today. Now, of course, if you're sick, you don't do it. But if you're not feeling it, you just don't want to do it, commit to 5 minutes. Get the ball, get the cones, find a place to train, turn some music on, and just commit to 5 minutes. Now, here's where the magic begins. If you are training and you're moving and you got music playing, you start to feel good about yourself. I didn't think I was going to train today. Well, now I'm training, now I'm getting moving, and now I'm feeling better in I'm just getting some good touches on the ball and feeling good about myself. And most of the time, we have coaches that have tested this out. Most of the time, you stick with it. So we had a coach send us a note last week that says that he's using this now with his team. And the average amount of time that they train after saying they're not going to train ends up being between 30 and 60 minutes. So they went from 0 training because they decided not to train to, okay, we're going to give it at least 5 minutes. Well, what happens is they want to train more. So the 5-minute soccer workout hack is commit to 5 minutes. And that has a huge impact on just getting you started. And there's a wonderful saying, there's a famous saying on this: beginning is half done. Beginning is half done. What that means is just beginning whatever the task is, you're already halfway done, because getting started is almost always the tricky part for people. We just want to sometimes we just want to hang out and not do anything. So beginning is half done. Cam, what are your thoughts? When you are not wanting to do it, how do you kind of get yourself through that hump?
I agree with that for sure, especially if you're waking up early to train, which I used to do a lot when I had class. In the early mornings, I'd wake up, and sometimes I would get out of bed and think, oh, I'd rather just go back to sleep. But once you get dressed, once you're in your basement or on the field or early to practice, whatever it is, once you're there, it's a lot easier than getting over the hump, like you were saying, of deciding whether to train or not.
So, and I would like to open it up also, if you guys have any ideas on things that work for you. I will tell you another tip. So I've given you a 5-second rule, which is how do you make a decision to move forward? The 5-minute workout, which is if you don't want to train, commit to doing just 5 minutes. Here's another great tip. Anders Ericsson has done some research on this and found that the players there's kind of a group of players out there that have become extraordinary in whatever they're pursuing. It might even be mathematicians, but let's say, let's focus on soccer. And what they have created is their own personal training area. In our basement, we have something called the Trick Factory. And most of our players in their bedrooms or in their garages, in their backyard, in their basements, somewhere they have something they have personalized that is their place to go to train. And we have one player, her name is Chloe in Florida, who trains in the barn with the cows and the chickens. But it's a great example that you don't have to have all this incredible equipment to train. You can train almost anywhere. In fact, I will tell you, one of our clubs that's training now, and I know this club is on right now. It's a club in Maryland called Celtic. And I got a video from one of the coaches and copying the parents of Ashley. And she was training. She was on her way back from Florida to Maryland. And she was training in between flights at an airport. And she was training against the wall. She was doing speed 3 touch. And I absolutely love that. Because what a lot of us do is we look at our training schedule and we look at where we're going and we're traveling and we can't do it. Of course you can. Cameron trains all the time in hotels, in garages, in hallways, just about anywhere you can. So that's another tip that will really help you guys. All right. Do we have any questions?
No questions yet.
Okay, no questions. So listen, I'm going to open it up while we get ready to post you the 5 training tips. Those of you guys that are in our training kits may have seen this, but those of you that are not training yet in our kits, this will be new to you. But questions on any topic, on motivation, on planning your workouts, on the bash coming up. A lot of you guys are coming to the bash this weekend. We're our 1v1 camp in Greensboro. And then I also want to tell you guys on Monday is going to be our next, January 21st on Monday is going to be our next live broadcast, which is going to be some of the players that are at the bash are going to be training with us, are going to be playing in 4v4 tournaments that we are going to broadcast live. Those are fun because they get to invite their friends, their parents, their grandparents that are all over the US or even all over the world to see them play. But also for the high school players, they get to invite, if they wish, college coaches. So we do have quite a few college coaches that'll be tuning in.
We have our first question by email. This question is for Ken. Angela wants to know, what should I bring to the bash?
That's a good question. I would say bring cleats, a pair of sneakers or indoor soccer shoes, shin guards, just your basic soccer gear, and then a ball. Everybody needs a ball.
So interesting. What you said, sneakers. What's different this year? We've done a couple things that are totally different this year at the bash. What's different?
At the bash this year, I'll be teaching the PANA session, which PANA is basically a worldwide competition of megging each other. But it's like, the way I like to think about it is it's close control squared. So it's everything about close control, but you take it to a whole new level of difficulty and impressiveness. And there will be a lot of little competitions in the PANA sessions to see who has the best close control skill, and some sort of award at the end of the camp for the best PANA champions.
Yeah, she's been working on this content for a while now, and it's actually quite extraordinary. So even though the goal is to meg, PANA means to meg, is that right? Mm-hmm. The purpose of this is extreme close control dribbling, which is a extraordinarily effective tool for soccer players, but it's also extremely fun, very, very entertaining playing style. So you'll see, those of you guys that are coming, you're going to see some incredible moves, incredible fluid movement, feints, fakes on the ball. So we're going to everybody's going to go through that session.
Talbot Soccer wants to know, where can we find the assessment scorecard?
I think what you're asking for, Talbot Soccer asks, are you looking for the training assessment? The training assessment, that might be it. So if you are, what we'll do is follow up with you and send you to that. So you can respond back. Are you talking about the training assessment where the kids compare themselves to a video-based standard, and then it recommends and it analyzes their skills, and it recommends where they can develop now? I think that's what you're asking. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. So we'll follow up with you on that. Okay, great. What else? Okay. Cameron is actually going to practice now. So you can walk out. So she's got to practice tonight at 6:15. So she's heading out right now, but we will continue taking questions if there are any.
And I'll see hopefully some of you guys this weekend.
Yes. Yes. So I also will post that tip right now. So let me grab that. For you guys. And I'm going to put it right here. This is that video tip. That's a page that I just posted for you guys. And okay, any other questions? Oh, by the way, my next live broadcast after Monday. So the live broadcast Monday will be the 4v4 games. You're going to see players that are U11, U12, U13. There'll be some juniors showcases. They're short games. Most of the time we're going to spend on the high school players, because those are the ones that they're trying to get exposed to coaches. And I know for a fact several ACC schools are going to be watching. So hopefully that doesn't make people nervous. It should make it fun. But I do want to invite you to that. But the next one we're going to do after that is how to create a 7-day plan. those of you guys and what works for you and what doesn't. So it's not just how to create it, because a lot of you guys already use our 7-day plan, but what is working for you, what is not. And then we'll give you some pointers and some specific tips on how to get the most out of the 7-day plans. And we'll listen to players. I'll probably include some other players that have been doing this for years, and how they use their 7-day plans. Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question for Coach Mike here by email.
Yep.
David wants to know, he says he's a young player and he wants to enter in a video to some of your competitions, but he's seen some of your videos in the past and all the players look so good. So
Yeah.
he wants to know, he's a younger player, so what could put him possibly above those players that have such incredible skill?
Okay, so it's a good question, and I don't do a great job on making sure the young players feel comfortable joining my competitions, our competitions. So we have something called a Soccer Junkie video contest, or a Train Insane video contest. It's the same thing, but the idea is to create a soccer video of you training with a partner. You can train with anybody you want. You can train with a squad, and just doing fun things, creative things, inspirational things, crazy things, humorous things. I just got one. There's our champion last year, and I will answer your question. Our champion last year was Will Tidwell out of Alabama. And Will is such a creative player. He's so fun to watch. You guys will love his video. I just saw it. He just sent it to me for this year. He competed against everybody, but of course it came down to 2 players. It came down again to Will and Annika Huta in Finland, and she was the runner-up. The people at the Bash chose Will's video over Annika's. Now they both have put together spectacular videos that are even better than they were last year. So I don't know who's going to win. You guys can vote on them. They are absolutely spectacular, very entertaining, extremely technical, and just so fun to watch. Here's the answer for young players. We're not going to have you compete directly against the older players unless you do something so creative or so interesting or just different that I think you got a chance of winning it. I think you'd have a chance of winning it, and I would put you against them. Otherwise, we'll carve you out, and we'll do the younger players, which are the juniors, in one category, and the seniors, which is going to be high school age players, in another category. I also saw another question there. Will the live stream be put on YouTube? Yeah. So we're going to keep this live stream up for you guys about 48 hours. So it'll be at the same link that you have until we replace it with the live broadcast for Monday's games. This live stream will be up, so you can rewatch it later. Okay. Any other questions? I think we're going to wrap it up. Let me just see. Yep. Here's another question. One of my players is struggling with finding space. This is KJV. Other than verbally telling them to find space, do you have a video showing clips of players using the couch, plywood? The one, Karen, the one I just sent, I am pretty confident. Check out the link that I just sent you on the 5 training tips. And it shows, I know for a fact that it shows players training in the hotel. It shows players training in their bedroom. It shows players training in different locations. I can update that, and I will, but it'll be after the Bash. There are so many great videos of kids training all around the U.S., just pretty much everywhere they go. So, yes, I will update that, but it'll be after the Bash. Okay. Okay, great. We're going to wrap it up. Guys, you have a wonderful evening. This video will stay up for about 48 hours. All right. You can share it with anybody you like, and you can rewind it, and you can see the questions and answers at the same time as well. You guys have a great night. And the next live broadcast is Monday at the Bash. And then after that, it's going to be 7-day plan. By the way, if any of you have topics that you want us to cover, post them. Any topic at all. If it's an interesting topic, I will do a special Tuesday Chalk Talk session on it. Any topic at all. Post them. And if you've got 10 of them, there are 10 great ideas. I'll do the next 10 Tuesdays in a row doing the Chalk Talk. All right, guys. Good night.